Hey everybody, welcome to the FreeMind Podcast. It's Thursday, February 1st. Welcome to February. Wow, 2024 is flying by. We have Rebecca Styn here today, founder and CEO of Blind Tiger Spirit-Free Cocktails. Let's jump right in and check out Rebecca's story.
Rebecca Styn. I'm the founder and CEO of Blind Tiger Spirit-Free Cocktails, and we were founded in early 2021.
Excellent. I've been following you, I feel like since you started, and it was awesome. I think it was Adam Croner or somebody that introduced us at one point, and I was really happy to get that connection because your product is exactly what the NA industry needed, and it wasn't just a cookie cutter thing and line extension off a major brand. It was a luxury, higher end, high quality product that has a great taste. And for me, I want to tell you off the bat, and then I'm going to stop talking completely. For me, I credit, and I do this on this podcast every once in a while intentionally, because I need you all that are producing these NA beers. I've tried multiple times over the past 5 to 7 years to quit drinking alcohol, and it being in my life, and I have an equity in a small brewery in Chicago. It's in my life. I'm not going to get away from it. It doesn't bother me. I mean, I have bottles of liquor all over my desk, but when I'm in those moments in those social settings, or if I'm having a craving for it, O'Doul's just didn't do it, and that's the thing. And it's really where it is now. And I say it every time that I have been able to hold my sobriety for the past 12 months because of producers like yourself that are producing things that are enjoyable, that are also blurring the line when you're in public, so you don't have those uncomfortable questions. I'll give you an example. Last night I was at dinner with a client, and straight up, he didn't know. And as soon as he found out, he went and reversed his order of wine at the bar. And I was like, that's not what I want. That's not who you need to be. Like, I'm not that person that's, I'm not trying to make light of it, but scratching my neck in the corner, waiting for my next fix of alcohol. And that's where I think that your brand allows the community embracement to really transcend. And I just want to thank you for that right off the bat as we jump into your story.
Oh, well, I appreciate the kind words. I'm definitely small in this journey, and there's a lot of great players, so I'm happy to just be among them.
Thank you. But yeah, let's jump into that. So walk me through. I want to go all the way to 18-year-old Rebecca right now.
I don't know that I want to go all the way to 18-year-old Rebecca.
If you need help, if you shamelessly need help, I'll jump in with you and fall on the sword with some stories if you need. But you just turn that tassel on your cap and gown and your hat. What's the world smacking you in the face with?
Yeah, 18-year-old Rebecca had a little bit of tragedy, actually. Not personal. Very good friend had passed in a car accident the year I graduated high school, and that really kind of set the tone for me early on in my life. To realize how delicate life was, right? But so it kind of helped create the old soul that I kind of think I am today. And, moving forward, my life was markedly different at 18 than it is today. And I still think that journey will continue to change or evolve over time. Like, I never really knew what I wanted to be when I grew up, right? So at 18, I went to school for music. I actually did my undergrad in piano performance. So I was really talented musician, and it was a great 4 years. But I knew halfway through I didn't want to sit in a practice room 8 hours a day and be focused on an instrument. I was more in line with wanting to be with people. I thought I would end up running a symphony orchestra, went and got my master's in public administration, and then I worked in nonprofit arena for a really long time after that. And I love that. I did fundraising, marketing, communications, event planning, and that really kind of set I was really involved in our community, and this will all kind of make sense, once I'm finished. And then fast forward, after all the time I've dedicated to our community, I decided I wanted to run for office. And I did this twice. I ran for city council, I ran for county council, and then city council. The second time that I ran, I lost by 300 votes, which was really small. And then my husband ran a year later, and he lost by a small margin too. But both of our pillars were investing in our downtown. And so we wanted to put our money where our mouth was and capitalize on what I knew and had built upon. And we opened a speakeasy restaurant called Room 33 back in 2017. And it brought my ties into music because I hired live music every weekend. You know, that was really important to me. But it also, and his passion for history. So it was kind of like the Prohibition music, and then just capitalizing on a series of skills we had developed. Had a great team. Fast forward to March of 2020, pandemic hits. We're mandated to take out only. 90% of our sales come from the bar, but we're not legally allowed to sell alcohol to go. So we either had to shut our doors or come up with something else. And one of those things were bottling non-alcoholic versions of our cocktails. We had recognized a gap in the market. We didn't know how much it was about to explode, you know, over the next couple of years, but it really seemed to be a fit for us, and worked with the team, went back to them, and in my crazy brain decided I wanted to bring this product to market. And we kind of went from there. I went with my team and said, I want to keep with the Prohibition brand. Let's work on this. And they helped me create the original form. And I've just taken it on its very odd journey ever since.
That's awesome. And one of, like, I just, you know, we have very, I can already tell we have very symbiotic histories and stuff like that. So yeah, it's from an unfortunate standpoint, you made a very poignant comment that I think not a lot of people can understand. I also had, my cousin who also lived with me. We were the same age. We were 5 months apart. When I was 10 years old, he died instantly in a car accident on Interstate 81. And I feel the same way from that moment for the rest of my life, is that old soul piece. Because I never really got it. It was very much, I used, it's been a defining factor for everything that I've done in life. And when you say the time thing, it's been a positive and a negative. And I'm sure you've had these moments too, where you feel like you run too fast because you're trying to do so much, because you feel like the clock is ticking. And it's like, and sometimes that kind of, you fall behind on some of the little details along the way, but you're trying so hard to get to that destination because you never know when it's over. And I think like that, while if there's the negative piece of that thing happening in our lives, everyone that I've met that has a similar traumatic experience in their life, that is eventually becomes an entrepreneur, I feel like contains that same behavioral trait. How is that? So you got some sales experience early on, and obviously doing fundraising for scholarships is a whole different ballgame, because you're selling concepts and emotions instead of products. So tell me how that goes through. Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, I have to say it was probably a whole lot easier for me, right? Because it was somebody else's mission. It was a mission. It was emotionally driven. And you knew whether somebody was attached to it or not, you know, kind of at the onset. I enjoyed it overall. I did it for multiple different nonprofits. So I worked in the arts for our art museum, but then I also worked in domestic violence and mental health all across the spectrum of industry. But it was a really unique and a valuable time for me too.
Perfect. And then obviously all of that, the best part about it is I find that a lot of times people that worked in nonprofit fundraising and then transitioned to for-profit sales, they have the strongest discovery meetings they have the best discovery meetings because they're looking for that emotional attachment. And I think that I always enjoy seeing the call notes from people that have come from nonprofit into for-profit sales. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really neat viewpoint you bring up, because it is important for anybody who's in the arena, who's selling a product, to create that emotional connection with your customer so they come back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's one of those things in the nonprofit world, you can't just be an order taker because there's nothing to order. So it's one of those things where you have to make connections other ways. And I think that on the flip side, sometimes with sales reps in this industry, that's what inhibits them from moving forward in certain ways and feeling the success that they need. Establishing that credibility, that trust in the beginning with a really solid discovery meeting of whoever it is you're trying to sell your products or your programs or services, whatever it is. Moving over to Blind Tiger as a whole, I mean, you've been around since 2017. So you, as opposed to some of the others that we have talked to who were born out of COVID and things like that, you've seen how dramatic the past 5 to 7 years have been in the NA space as far as advancements and growth and everything like that. How's that ride been since you've been on the front end of it in a lot of senses of being embracing the industry with your speakeasy?
Yeah, it was unique. So I kind of as I got older, I still love a glass of wine and a cocktail. I enjoy having them. But as I was getting older, I realized I didn't really want to partake as much as often. And your body doesn't respond the same way, right, as we get older. So I started to look for it early on kind of when we had launched the speakeasy, probably about a year in is when I decided I thought it was important to start to kind of create some options or something around it. And they were very limited because even then, the United States didn't have, the market attached to it at like 2017, 2018, like it does today. The European market was always, I think, far ahead of us in that arena. But even during our travels, it was hard to find. It's still hard to find in bars and restaurants today, right? Like it's still something that they're still trying to see if the market is there and it's tangible for people that are coming in on a regular basis that are going to order non-alcoholic options. And a lot of that just has to do with education, like being able to educate the bar or restaurant owner or the lead that these are options you can still make good money on. Like it's not like somebody has to have a pop or coffee or water, right? Like you can be creative and create offerings that even people who do like to drink would also want to drink the non-alcoholic version.
Absolutely. And that's, so when you went through your products, you also went through an evolution of your actual packaging as well. So kind of talk through where you started out. I believe, if I'm correct, you started out in the elixir space and now you have the canned RTD NA space as well.
Yeah, so they were all kind of they were mixers, right? When we they were non-alcoholic, you could drink them as they were, but we were packaging them in 32-ounce bottles at first because I think we thought our market would be the bar and restaurant scene, right? Because they always want the bigger packaging when you're going into that on premise. But then we noticed that people were enjoying them at home, but that wasn't an ideal packaging design. So we moved down to a 16-ounce bottle, but have found the most success in the RTD can, right? Like in the bottles, they naturally separate because they're all natural products. So you have to shake them. In the can, you don't have to do that. And we also added a newer varietal, a carbonated one, which wouldn't do so well in a glass bottle, especially one that was to be resealed, right? So yeah, that kind of evolution was more determined by the consumer. And less by what I thought the plans would be moving forward.
Yeah, and so I want people that when they go on your website, so blindtigerspiritfree.com, I want people to see all your products. You are on where are they as far as platforms go where consumers can directly? I see you're on Amazon. How about Fair, things like that too as well?
Yeah, so we're on Fair, we're on Air Goods. We have our own dedicated website. All our canned varietals can now be fulfilled by Amazon, so you can get that Prime delivery, which is really nice to have. And then, we're in a bunch of retailers too. We do have partnerships with some other online retailers like Better Roads that help to work with us and help get the name out. But yeah, it's been, we've definitely significantly grown in reach, at least over in the last year.
And are you working with traditional wholesalers in the beer, wine, and liquor space as well to distribute your products?
Yes, and those have been really amazing relationships for us. They've been limited to date. So we have Imperial Beverage in Michigan. We've been working with them for a little over a year. We just launched with the statewide One Atlantic Beverage distributors in Massachusetts, and we're in conversations in New Jersey. And the nice thing is one, we still have a hand, like it's important for me to get out and sell our product to the bars and restaurants and retailers in each of these states, but they have their own teams and the teams are very dedicated, which is really nice. And it's just it's a nice extension for a startup to have, other teams that are out there working on your behalf. Because we have like national distribution in the natural channel, but there's not a lot of people, boots on the ground that are working for you or with you. So it's definitely been a really good partnership, and I hope to increase those as we grow.
And as far as you guys right now, the size of your company, excluding any distributor things like that, I do a lot of small businesses, so I'm used to like that, and I'm always amazed at how much is being produced and how high quality is being produced with such a small team. How are you guys laying out, and where are you located? Where are you physically located? And then do you have your team spread out, or is everybody remote? And how does that work?
Yeah, so we're physically located in Erie, Pennsylvania. So I am like the only full-time person at this time. I've had a couple of different positions prior, but I am going to be hiring somebody in the DC area, which will be great to have, who's been in the arena. And then we have a lot of brand ambassadors that I've hired directly that are in like Denver, Colorado, and California. So it's a lot of the team is outside of here. It's definitely a challenging area to find people where I am at, to find people who know the CPG industry, the consumer packaged good industry, right? So, and I still think it's, it's a niche. So it's trying to find those that can work within that realm. And so it's been interesting, to say the least.
Are you I guess now let me go back again. I'm making a connection with you now. I forgot about the Erie part. Do you know Jason Lavery and his wife and everything like that? Nice.
Oh yes, yeah, very well. We were just down at they expanded their brewery just in the last year, so it's a lot bigger. It's beautiful inside. Their product is great. Yeah.
Awesome. I worked with him years ago when I was at the wholesaler. I was one of his brand managers that brought him down over to central Pennsylvania for Erie. So I've made that drive up quite a bit, whether it was picking up product or sitting down for a meeting. So
awesome.
I'd gone by when they did those expansions and stuff, and swung by on. I think I did them, and then I went over and saw Great Lakes and stuff like that. So I guess I like following everything. I've run into him at a couple of the Pennsylvania Brewers Association meetings and stuff like that. So.
That's really awesome. Yeah. Such a small world.
It is. And I love the Erie area. That's what I was actually leading into as well. Like, I had not been in it. My family's from Western Pennsylvania, so they're all steel workers and railroad workers and stuff like that. Yeah. So they came in from Germany, landed in Bedford County, Somerset County area, and specifically in a town called New Baltimore. So there's no traffic light or anything like that, no gas station. And it was just it's a general store, a church, a bar. And the general store is at the bottom of the hill. The church is at the top of the hill, and the bar is at the bottom of the hill. So everything you need is right there.
Yep, I love it.
I want to hear about how it affected your business from when you started to the acceleration of interest. Now, and then how you have gone through harnessing that acceleration of interest and popularity in the category to sales. Is it, I've seen you go into the Amazon part with Prime. That is going to be huge for you guys. And is that a recent in the past few days or weeks, or is that 2024 initiative? And
so Amazon came on at the end of 2023. So nice. At this juncture, I am still shipping to Amazon so that they can fulfill it. Like, I don't have a third party partner, but
are you doing the FBA shipping? Yeah.
Yep. The FBA stuff. But it's its own beast, right? Like, if you want to do it right, I mean, it's a commitment both in time and money. And I'm hoping that we can ultimately build through that and build it up for 2024, because I think it will have a lot of velocity for us. It's doing well right now, and we're not even advertising or anything on it yet. So our plan is to obviously build and increase that presence.
Brace yourself on the when you start to advertise, you're going to get hit. I mean, I did it during COVID. I switched over for a while when all the bars closed down, and I started buying overstocks from Target and things like that. And I was selling them toys and household items on Amazon, doing FBA. So I was packing the pallets, shipping them out and stuff like that. Be ready. When I started advertising, I didn't spend much money at all, but it accelerated 50 times what I was doing. I mean, it was easy when I started doing the advertising with them. So yeah, definitely, it's get ready, buckle up on that part.
Okay, I will for sure.
But yeah, and I guess too, like the walking through your product, it's great too, because with the NA part, you can be in the liquor stores, you can be in the package stores, you can be in the beer stores, you can be in the bars, restaurants, breweries, etc. But you also have that opportunity that you get to be in Target, you can be in Walmart, you can be in every state, regardless of where they are. And all the grocery stores, once they finally get attuned with NA and stop putting it with the soda and bring it over to the alcohol side. But yeah, a lot of places, at least in Pennsylvania, I'm speaking, that NA products are extremely poorly placed in grocery store chains in Pennsylvania. And they all, if they're listening, they all know it because I've told them all personally. So it's not a hidden system from me. But I mean, working in Pennsylvania, coming in with an NA product, where are you producing? Are you co-packing outside, or are you co-packing in Pennsylvania, or are you producing yourself, and how does that work?
Yeah, I definitely don't produce it myself. I'd probably kill somebody if I had to do it on my own. But we do co-pack in Clintonville, Wisconsin, actually. So it's 16 hours from here, but it has been a really great partnership in the last year.
Actually, I think that's how we met. Never mind. It wasn't Adam Kroner with Carbless. It was I think it was with Element. With the element elixirs. Might have been him.
Nate, you got a better memory than I do, my friend. So
it's all good. I'll cut that part out of the episode. Yeah, when it comes to names and people, I am a steel trap. But you ask
Yeah.
my wife where my wallet is and my keys when I leave for the morning. No, not so much.
That's funny. Yeah. We all have our strengths. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a frustrating part for her. But so talk through what how many states are you guys currently in? Obviously, with FAIR, that opens you up to the whole world as far as that goes, and Amazon. Let me back up and as much as a loaded question more specifically. Independent retailers, what states are you directly shipping to independent retailers via FAIR?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we're kind of with FAIR, we're all over the place, right?
Yeah.
Like because we have the opportunity to be where I actually find we are most successful right now that we seem to have outside of our region, you know, like in the Northeast corridor area. Oregon has been great for us. Like I find we're shipping a lot to from FAIR to them, but then we also just developed a partnership with a company called Market of Choice that has like you know, over a dozen different locations, and we are working with them directly. So somehow it transcends, and I don't really, you know, I'll one day have all this data to support kind of why we ended up where we ended up. But it's been, you know, it's good for us. Like it's been great to have these partnerships in other areas of the country, because Pennsylvania has been the hardest for it being where we were founded. It's definitely been the most challenging to kind of build a saturation point.
As far as that goes, yeah, the chains and everything like that. Are you in with any wholesalers in Pennsylvania, or are you like UNFI, KeHE, or any of that stuff? Or yeah.
Yes, so we're in UNFI in Pennsylvania, in York, because we are at Giant Food in all of their locations right now. But we had launched with them back in August. That's been an interesting partnership. Like all of them have their own challenges and opportunities. We're also with KeHE, and KeHE has been really good for us. We've definitely grown with them. We're in about 7 of their distribution points right now. We started with 1. UNFI, we had 2. We still technically have 2, one on the West Coast and one on the East. But we haven't grown as much with them as we have with KeHE today.
Nice, that's awesome. Yeah, they've really come around in the past few years with bringing on craft and artisan brands and things like that. It's been excellent to watch them help you guys accelerate through. But, when you guys went through, how are some of the ways that you guys have gone to market post COVID? Obviously, with tastings not necessarily being as much in store prominent in certain chains and things like that. What are the strategies? Are you going with a digital strategy, or how are you kind of getting yourself out there for the customers?
Yeah, a lot of it has been digital. And I got to tell you, though, we recently were able to really start to ramp up the demos, and that has been most integral for us. That is definitely where we have found our greatest success. Sprouts, we've been in their innovation set twice now in all of their locations, and we've done probably almost 200 demos with Sprouts alone. But it's really good from a customer discovery, customer feedback, see what, you know, and get everything you need in order to kind of get the best, you know, iteration of your product as you move forward. So that has been really, really good. Other than that, you know, we've done some traditional advertising locally. I have a beautiful commercial. I've been able to dedicate a little bit of funds to it in the region, and that has done well for us. But otherwise, it's really been mainly digital and trying to build up the social media channels and the advertising and everything through that. But nothing compares to getting in front of the customer.
And you have the mixers on Amazon as well?
We have just the cans on Amazon. I'm highly concerned with glass bottles, and it took us a long time to get the right packaging for us to do fair and air goods for like case sizes. And I don't trust it. I just don't trust it. So cans are the easiest.
You're 100% accurate, and that's actually what my lead-in was the question, because the amount of stuff with our clients and myself that gets shipped back. I mean, I just got these this morning from another client, and I was blown away to get a 750 milliliter glass that actually landed unbroken. There was 3 of them, and then the cans. And of course, with all the weather we've had in Pennsylvania, like half my samples in the past few weeks come exploded just because it's been so cold everywhere.
Yeah. I had that happen to me too, unfortunately. So
yeah. So yeah, I mean, I want to first off thank you for this. Anything else that you want to promote, or big things that are coming in 2024 that you might want to tease? Anything like that you before?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we hope to continue to grow, but the biggest things for us, you know, our brand is is unique in the sense that it's all prohibition culture. Every cocktail tells its own story, they're purported histories, but it really takes you back to a time that I think was a valuable lesson in our own American culture. But in addition to that, we're also working on a couple of new varietals. So we hope to be able to introduce a new one in late 2024. We're working on a Manhattan, and then we'll have a surprise one after that. So that's kind of, my hope is just to continue to expand our offerings, and, the consumer continues to enjoy them. So.
And that's the part that's so exciting about where you guys are going is we're not just doing the standard stuff. We're not having the NA, Coke and whatever, Jack and Cokes. I mean, I'm holding on a Maine mojito here and a stormy night from somebody else. And I mean, this is and you doing Manhattans and all your thing. I mean, this is it. This is what America's all about. It's not all the other BS people are talking about. It's about creating things and about just making things that work for niches and people. And for anybody listening today, I just want to let you know, definitely www.blindtigerspiritfree.com. Sign up today for their newsletter. 33% off. See that little prohibition nod there, everybody? All right, hop on there. Sign up for their email list. 33% off your next order. If you order a second time, I'll talk to Rebecca and see if we can get you another discount. All right, so send me an email.
You got it.
And we'll give you a FreeMind discount on your second order. All right. So, hey, Rebecca, thank you so much. And I have one last question for you. Where's your Ph.D. come from? Give me that background.
Yeah, so it's in leadership. Throughout my career, I worked for a number of bad leaders, and I was really intrigued by the whole thing. And I ended up pursuing that. The focus ended up being entrepreneurial leadership. So I hope to be able to apply that too in a future team model, right?
I think it's very evident in what you're doing. You see the vision, you see the systems, you put them in place, and it complements to you on everything that you're doing.
You looking for a way to grow your business, reach new customers, and increase your sales? If so, you need the FreeMind Group. Founded in 2008 and a provider of creative and strategic solutions for the food and beverage industry. Whether you need branding, marketing, product development, or innovation, the FreeMind Group can help you achieve your goals and unleash your potential. Visit our website at thefreemindgroup.com and get a free consultation today. Thank you for listening. See you next time.